Okay, I'm back. Now this is the mock-up. I'm gonna save you all the time it took me to deal with what pieces that I needed and how I wanted it to look and all that nonsense that will literally be a ridiculously long video. So I'll skip all of that and get to the part where most people actually want to see. And that's how I ended up translating the cardboard into this. So, yeah. So, after I got all the pieces situated, got my holes all made out, and for some dumb reason I found out that the holes in the skateboard truck actually line up perfectly with the holes in the diff, which is kind of screwy. That's kind of messed up. So it kind of makes it look like it's hard to tell which side is which, but the skateboard truck is actually, the hole pattern for the skateboard truck is slightly longer than the diff pattern. So that's how I can easily tell. So I know which side is which. So this is the diff and this is the truck area. So that's, oh boy. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. So maybe I should just skip all of that and get to just cutting it, because I can mock all of that up with the plastic pieces too. I can just get this stand out the way. Okay, so I got my pieces. So let's just go straight to the board. I gotta get all of this out of my way. Get the board. Yeah, and this is gonna get a little loud, so get clamps, clamp the board in place. Now I am gonna do this pretty quick. And what I use is this hard 20-volt grinder. And no, I do not try to go all the way through this stuff. It's way easier just to score it and a lot more control while not having the thing ended up getting stuck in the doggone stuff. So if you lightly score it with this, it'll come out a lot better. And that's pretty much just running through it. You don't want to go all the way right off the bat, or otherwise it'll get stuck and it'll want to do its own little thing, and that ends up looking like a nasty mess. Yeah, so scoring works. So now you end up with a piece like this, and this is what? Gotta match it up to whatever piece is supposed to be. Looks like that's this one, the outside that runs and ends up looking like that. And if you can tell, the top two pieces that I use for the diff is already marked out right there. So I will cut them out. That means I have to get rid of the glue for a second. Get rid of my board. Oh, the noise of progress. Now that shouldn't move too good. Now, what I want to do right here is cutting this straight across would be kind of stupid. And also, yeah, because I want to, you know, break this in half. So I'm going to lightly cut this line first. And then cut this, and then I'll just be able to snap that clean in half after I get it cut from there. Okay, now I got this. Cut, snap, done. And that's my 2 tabs over there for the top of the wing mount. And this is going to end up being this piece. The outside piece, the very outside piece that fits that on the inside and this on the outside. So yeah, this right here is going to be the outside piece. This right here. So boy. So now we're going to have to use a little bit of heat to get this bent the right way. Now, I don't know which side would be easy to bend first. I really don't care. But I like to get the big bend out of the way because, yeah, it works. Now we got some flame. Not that much because I don't want it completely destroyed. Oh, well. Actually, yeah. That's if you don't actually get the pieces ready. That means we have to use the cardboard to figure out where the pieces are. Where the bends are. And the bend is going to be right here. So that's exactly where you apply the heat. Right there. And don't do it while your thumb is there. Just don't. Obviously. Oh, that was perfect. So now we heat it up. And this stuff heats up pretty fast. And that's about it. And I don't bend it all at once. I mean, you can if you want to, but incremental bends actually look better. Okay, whatever. There's my cardboard. Yes, they look much better. As for the bend itself, I really do eye it at this point. I mean, I want a particular shape. I don't want it to be completely 90. Probably somewhere like that. So you overbend it and then it'll want to flex back up to right where it needs to be. And then this stuff, when it gets done, you know, cooling off, it'll maintain that shape and it'll be stuck like that. So yeah. Yeah, just like that. All right, just a little bit more. And it you can actually heat this stuff up again. This is not like the nylon that if you heat it up, it completely destroy itself and lose all its structural integrity. Yeah, HDPE don't work like that. It's basically a thermoform. It's the same stuff that people use for the thermoform bodies and all other good stuff. Yeah, it's a type of the indestructible body, which is a lighter, thinner HDPE. It's like 3 or 4 millimeters, and then they use it on the body. Yeah, it's the same stuff. If they're gonna use that kind of stuff on the body, that's why the bodies cost so much. Because this stuff is not cheap. Although the thinner it is, usually the less it costs. But for some reason, we got to go on and hike up the price of it just because we need to make money too. That sort of thing with those stupid car bodies. So yeah, now we got this little number going, and it's pretty much dry and set. So cooled off enough to set the next position. So yeah, let's see, did we make it a little too... Well, I did make these a little longer, just a little bit longer. So, just so it'll have a little bit of extra, material to deal with. Because you can always cut this stuff, but you can't add to it. Okay, where's my flame? Okay. Now, as for the second, I'm looking at right here. So, from there, take them away. Now for the second bit, I did heat it up just a little bit more, so it'd be a little bit more malleable. Okay, now comes the part that I actually mess up on purpose. Because there are numerous ways of doing this. Now, you really can't heat this stuff up too much. I mean, you can always make it catch on fire, but heating it up too much, I don't think so. Of course, you can definitely heat it up to the point of where it'll start to melt, and that's way too much, so. But I want this angle right here to be pretty precise, so I'm just gonna go at it. No matter how much of this stuff I gotta heat. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. I mean, on this one, I got that angle really right. So, looks like I need to go really heavy on the bend and then pull it back up. And yeah, since I got the actual part in front of me, I might as well go in and use it. Okay, just how far does it go down? That's why heat definitely helps when dealing with this stuff. Because getting it right the first time is ideal, but it's usually not the case. Even with me, and I've been doing this for a while now. I also need to keep an eye on actually what piece is which. And that is really close. Really close. Okay, so just how much longer is that? And that's not that much longer at all. So it doesn't matter because I got that gap. And I actually wanted to close in that gap a bit. And this piece will actually do that very nicely. Okay, so so now I got this thing done, and it can sit over to the side. Now I have these other two pieces, and I'm going to cut both of them. And as you can see from the wall, this stuff creates a lot of dust. So make sure to know where the dust is going. Otherwise, it'll end up all over you. That's why you have to know how to use a grinder in order to do this. Yeah, because having grinder pointed toward you means that the dust from this stuff is going to get all over you. And that's not a good thing at all. Okay, so I got that. What's that there? Marker. And yeah, I did cut this with a pretty nice ruler, so I know it's straight. The cardboard, that is. Now my marks, who knows? But it doesn't have to be exact until you start to bolt the thing together. So let's zip. Literally, another reason why I tend to want to score is because if you go at it all the way at first, it'll bog down the poor grinder and want to actually melt your crap. So and yes, scoring and breaking is also possible with this mess, which is another case in point, is that you can actually break this stuff. I mean, you saw I broke it with my bare hands just like that. That means this stuff is actually able to snap under the right conditions. But on the truck, how much force would it take in order to do that? And yes, I actually had to score it first in order for it to snap like that. So, unless you want to take a grinder to your wheelie bar and then smash it into the ground enough to wreck it, it ain't going nowhere. It's just that simple. Okay, now we got that piece. And now we need the def and wheelie bar portion of it. Move this out a bit so that the grinder don't get hooked up on the clamps. Now, instead of doing it with my hand, I'm just going to do it while it's still attached. Now, just see how many. Yeah, it's using up battery. It's definitely using that battery up. That's just how powerful this grinder is. So. Okay, where's my X-Acto knife? And this is another way to do it. Okay, Now we got all our lovely pieces that we need. And no, you are not about to see me cut myself with this stuff. Although I am not a great whittler by no stretch of the imagination. Especially when it comes to whittling this stuff. I'd rather not do it. But I'm not into making stuff looking like everything, so it's perfect. So let's go on and completely mop this stuff up. Now, to do the next part of this, I match up everything that I need. Yeah, this is still gonna take a while. But it is what it is, what it is. As long as we get an end result that's usable, it's fine. No matter what. The hardest thing about this is keeping up with bleh. Yeah, this dust is all over the place. Keeping up with what piece is which. So this is the inside piece. And the inside piece needs a bend right here. So now I'm just gonna whip through this because yeah, the video is gonna end up being an hour long at this point. Now for this, yeah, go on and do both sides. Maybe I did that for the other one too and just forgot to do it. What it is, it's not going to make the piece any more brittle than it already is. Because it is a thermoform plastic. Now, since it's that close to the edge, I'm not going to use my hand. Yeah, that's way off. But how far off is it from the actual piece? Yeah, it's still way off. And if you look at this piece, yeah, I had to really go at it to get that angle right. But that's just how much effort goes into making this stuff. And this plastic is almost idiot proof in that you can melt it, but you literally have to hold the stupid flame right in one spot for it to catch on fire and melt and do all this little stupid stuff. And who does that? Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah. So now we got something going. Yeah, you see how much I had to melt it. Now, while it's doing this little Flappy Bird thing there, I want to hurry up and get that next angle heated up so I can fit it and mold it inside of this thing. It's kind of amazing just how much of a flame this stuff can take. Yeah, I actually used the part itself. I use the part, the table, anything that I can. Because I want this shape to be completely molded with the inside of it. So I need to heat up multiple parts of this in order to make that shape right. Now that's all nice and flappy. Get that all nice and flappy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yes. That is great. Now, these come in handy. We don't need that anymore. Okay, now the inside will perfectly match up with the outside. Gotta love thermoplastic. Stuff is wonderful. And it's not like you can destroy the stuff with heat. I mean, you can melt it, but when it finish cooling off, wow. It goes right back to its normal form when it wasn't a molted mess, which is absolutely glorious. Okay, enough with all that. Time for the easiest one. All we're doing is just going right in the center of this, right in the center of it. The stupid thing that actually, you know, and you don't even, since that angle was so shallow, you don't even need to go crazy on it like that. Making acute angles with this thing, but this stuff actually does require you to melt the mess. But if they're obtuse like that, and not only that, yeah, I don't even think I even used that much heat with this one. And it's the wrong way. There we go. Yeah, I didn't use too much heat with this one at all. And then I think I might have bent it just a little. Yeah, I think I might have used a little bit too much heat on this shape. But the shape really doesn't matter that much. Because none of the screw holes are drilled yet, so none of it actually matters. But this is the diff part. This bottom part right here. And even that really doesn't matter that much. I mean, nothing, while you're doing this, nothing really actually matters until you drill the holes for this. That's why I leave the holes for last. When you start to mock this thing up, that's when the holes actually matter. And speaking about mocking up, it's almost time to start mocking up the plastic. Keep doing, finishing this mess. So, size switch, we got that. So now it's actually starting to look like the bar. It really is. Wow. Who would have thought? We are actually making a wing mount. I know I should have bought a couple more of these things. Oh, they are awesome. Okay, now we have the general idea of what this thing is going to end up looking like. So, you could jump a step here. If you actually are going to use a skateboard truck and completely mount the skateboard truck to this thing. Okay, and as for how I do it, I mount it with the bolt sticking up. Because if you do it like this, yeah, there is a slight chance that the bolt might smash into Mother Earth before the actual wheels do, when that's not good. Okay, and as for this, I usually say don't eye it up, but at some point you just need to start getting shit done. So let's get shit done. Okay, what drill bits do I have? I got a big one for the M5. And it is larger than the hole needed, so we're all good. So I'm just going to slap it on there, and this stuff is still really hot, so. Just going to give myself a general idea of where this hole needs to be. Because I don't feel like doing this for the rest of forever. And yeah, I am trying to keep it straight. So that Mr. Wing mount don't end up all, Mr. Willy Bar don't end up all messed up. Okay, but the last thing I want this boy to do is actually move while I'm drilling into it, so. Yeah, I need to use everything that I can afford, so. And as I said before, I'm actually going to drill in on an angle so that the bit is facing away from the top of this, so I can actually have some space in order to put the bolt in. I mean, the lock nut. So I started first. Okay, and with that all bolted together, we can skip a step or two again, just to try to get some of this mess, done today. Use our nice long bolt. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a 35. See that 35 or 40, whichever one is long enough to work through this. Let me grab that, grab all that. And it actually gets somewhat easier on the stuff. It's starting to form its final, starting to take its final form. Now with the thing basically bolted it together, yeah, it's a lot easier to work with now. Because there's no clamps. You're doing is just throwing. Taking the drill to it, still making sure that it's still straight. Because that's right now what matters the most. That is, straight. Now you could do it on the truck if you wanted to, but yeah, that means you're actually bolting it and unbolting it from the truck many times over, and that's stupid. And as you can see, I like to eye a lot of stuff. I'm not that exactly a person when it comes to crap fitting together. Especially when all you want to do is just go out and wreck it. All it needs to do is just fit together. Seriously. I mean, this stuff don't care about it fitting and fitting and fitting and fitting until it can't fit anymore. I don't need to keep that though, so the bolt doesn't move. I just make these two holes even more. Or really, don't actually need them right now. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, this is really turned into a long-winded video, that is. So now we need to get back to the M4. Is that the M4? Which one is the M4? Oh, this one is. Okay. And we need to see which one of these is the def. and it is this side. That side is... Okay, this one is the diff. So definitely don't want to make this messed up. Okay, this one is. I'll put a big D on this. Just to know that this is freaking diff. And a W on this, even though I really don't need that anymore. Okay, as for the diff, yeah, I'm actually marking this mess up. Yep, that's the diff. Yep. Okay, so just get rid of that. This mess actually does come in handy. Making it out of cardboard first because you easily have a template to drill all your holes. And the bottom is actually ready. Nothing else needs to be done. As for the top, this is where all the fun starts. You have your two tabs. Now you need to mount those two tabs. Make all the holes for the two tabs. And the holes for the wing, if you're going to use a wing. Now, it does take a bit of effort to line this up by eye. But what I like to do with this is that I leave enough space up here to drill holes so I can get all of that situated. But the way this works is that the back does not matter. The front needs to be completely lined up so that the wing can sit on that. So that's where it's sitting at. You see this ridge right here, how straight that is? That's how that's supposed to look. And it also needs to line up with the end of this. So just lining it up should be good enough as long as it'll fit. Of course, it's gonna have to fit in the middle, and it does. And I love to have the bolts going in right there, here, and here, because they're completely out of the way. If you look at the wing, they'll be completely out of the way of anything that's right here. So we have both here, 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 and then the wing mount can actually, you know, be situated without you having to do anything else. So when you screw in. Yeah, drill there. Let's see. Yeah, this turned into a marathon, but this is the kind of stuff that I do every day. So it's just basically me making stuff work. Okay, no, we don't need that. Just making sure everything is still lined up right, and it is. Making one final little adjustment. Okay. Yeah, and this mess is definitely gonna move. Oh boy. That means fingers and everything else at your disposal come in handy to make it not move. Or you can just use some damn vice grips. That'll keep it in place. Let's see, do I got some vice grips? Oh yeah, I do have big old vice grips, don't I? Yeah, I should have used them. I didn't. Oh well. You gotta love long ass videos like this. Maybe it should just have been a live stream. Seriously. Okay, let's see. Does it fit? Oh. And that's just eyeing it up. Fits absolutely perfect. My God. You're choking me. I love this. I mean, it only took me about maybe a minute just to think up something like this. I mean, now, not only that, but what is this thing? Now you have the holes lined up. Zip, zip. Okay, let's get that out of there. Oh wow, drill is running out of juice. Drill is actually running out of juice. But I only have to drill 4 more holes with the stupid stuff, and then the amount will be done. Oh yeah, these big dumb screws I'm using on top are 35mm M4s. And one day we'll go through everything. Yeah, go through the wing, the 3 layers of HDPE, everything. Oh yeah, oh screw it. I put it in like that. Oh god. Well, it doesn't really matter that much. It's just the wing. But now, here's the lovely hard part. The hose for the shutter. Now, to do that, it's probably the hardest part, but again, we have ye old mock-up, which gives you the best it pretty much gives you the best method of doing this. Seriously. I mean, doing this without the cardboard mock-up is kind of, I won't say it's impossible, but it's very, very difficult. And it turns an hour-long video into 3 hours of you cussing and fussing with a whole lot of crap. Okay. So now we actually have everything all mounted, everything all drilled out, except for that. Yeah. That center part that bulges up. Now, there is absolutely no easy way of doing that. Except using a giant ass drill bit. But thankfully, I actually do have another drill down here, because that one was down. And thankfully, Mr. Hart battery plugs right into it. So now that hole or notch or whatever it is huge. It literally starts at the bottom of these 2 screws and goes all the way to the sides, and it's about the size of my thumb. So that's a good indication of how to do that. Of course, this is one of those bits that has the ribs all over it, teeth, that can pretty much cut through anything. This is the biggest mess you're gonna make out of this whole process. It's also the most non-exact thing you're gonna be doing out of the whole process. You pretty much have to know how to use it. But thankfully with plastic, you don't have to be really fast with it. And I know it doesn't have to be this big. I'm just making sure that there's no way for it to interfere with taking the diff apart already. Even though you pretty much still have to take the diff apart to get it through. Okay, it looks hideous, but it works. And since this is plastic, and you get really sick of using stupid drill trying to cut it, you just go, you can grab a pair of big ass end nippers and cut, done. Okay, so salad on the thumb. Oh boy. Oh yeah, that was another thing we have to use this for. This thing, and that's the screw holes that's in there. You can't really get to them, even with this. It'll be on a very bad angle, and this is not a ball, and I don't like using balls. Yeah, this is just a regular hex. Yeah, so you can get to it, but let's not do that. All we have to do is just line it up with that cutter thing and make a mess. Oh, we are really making a mess. I really did forget how I just went to this. Oh, I held the drill up against my body to keep it from moving. That's how I did it. Yep. Now to do the other side. Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yes. That's what I like to see. A big old mess at the end of your build. That's when you know you was doing something right. As for the other side, I gotta get all left-handed with that one. Of course I could, but I don't want to. Okay. Now we got that. Nice. 2 little divots dug out for your screw path. And now we got a wing mount from start to finish. And it took exactly an hour and 5 minutes. Of course, with about 5 minutes worth of bullshitting. So it takes about an hour to do that. Of course, I didn't show all the ridiculous mocking up I did to figure this out. But yeah, it's a hell of a lot easier to drill out everything with mock-ups. Oh boy. Now all you have to do is just attach it to the stupid truck. And you're done. Oh boy. But that's the easy part. That really is the easy part. Of course, I'll go on and do it just for the hell of it. Oh boy. I don't know which one would be better to start with. I know I don't have the right size screws for this. I know I had to order some more. Okay, so for the tops, this hole right here, and yeah, you want to start with the actual, yeah, I'm just going to have stuff falling right now. You want to start with the black. Yeah, you want to start with the black. You want to start with the shock tower first so you can easily bend down the depth. And do I have any, oh, here they go. I was about to say, what happened to the nuts? Ugh, boy. Okay, which holes this thing uses again? Okay, it uses that one. Now, I'm only going to bolt in the tops because the bottom 2 holes are easy as heck. So, let's see, where are my screws? Yeah, these are 50 millimeters. So let's just pretend they're 40. Now, I put them in. Oh, that's just perfect, ain't it? Look at that. That angle look glorious. So, oh boy. We need to fix that angle. And thankfully, this is some very forgiving material. Just in case you F up. And that ain't it. Where's my bit? Ugh. There is my bit. Put it in dime drill. I had 2 batteries for this drill, but I have absolutely no idea what the other one went to. But now we need to make hole, the right angle. And that's something that I didn't do with the first one. And I had all kinds of ridiculous problems trying to get this stupid thing in there. So this time, I'm going to make the right angle the first time. And then when I go to put in my screws, they'll be happy and want to go in the right way. See, look at that. Happy screws. Happy, happy screws. So happy that you can actually do this sideways. Somewhat. Yeah, see how far that bolt is sticking out? Yeah, you need 40 millimeters instead of 50. Oh, God, I love this stuff. There's even the hole. Okay, note the fitment issues. Fitment issues are always the absolute last thing to deal with. Because holes don't line up, you made holes wrong and all the crap. So how to make it right, because this thing is off by a good bit. Remember when I said that this stuff is forgiven? That as long as it's in there, it doesn't care. Yeah, it works with that too. Now, you can make a dozen holes in this mess. As long as this stuff is actually bolted to it, you know, the shock tower, doesn't care. Okay, that's for that one. That one doesn't really need too much of nothing. I just wanted to get it off of that stupid angle so I can actually get the screw in there without destroying it. Yeah, you can tell I've been doing this for a while. Because none of these stupid problems faze me anymore. None of them. And they are pretty rampant with modding your own parts. Fitment, finishing, stuff looking like garbage, that kind of crap. Whatever. None of that phases me anymore at all. I just wish I was smart enough to actually be able to get both of these in the hole at the same time. Yep, there we go. Now I have to be even smarter in order to be able to get this stuff out of there now. Oh boy. How to play with your RC. How to ridiculously mod the heck out of your RC. How to find bolts that's under battery trays in your RC. I keep on calling them bolts, but this is a lock nut. And yeah, it slipped on the damn battery tray. And I have no idea how I got it. How I just got it out. Ugh. Okay, one side in. Two side in. Done. Freaking choking me. Look. Oh boy. You know, I did have these lock nuts super glued in place so they wouldn't pop out. Okay, now enough playing around. Boy. Okay, now all we have to do is to bend this slightly down. Almost to nowhere. There's also another reason why I like to make these holes M4, even though the bolt is M5, because you can screw the M5 bolt into the M4 hole, it being plastic, and the bolt is just going to sit up there and let you drill it in the rest of the way. Oh yeah, and I know these stainless steel, blah blah blah, whatever, but they are huge. Yeah, one of them is 25 and the other one is 30. Huge. Millimeters long, that is. Okay, done. Now we have a newly made wing mount with the Kraton wing on it, and this is the Outcast. Perfect, absolute perfect. An hour and 18 minutes later, and yeah. But that's pretty much what we got. Yeah, I turned all of these lovely pieces. I cut them out in front of everyone. I actually bothered to look at this thing for a whole hour to see just how much crap you have to go through to make this into that. Yeah, and it's pretty freaking beefy as hell. Seriously. Yeah, as you can see, I'm almost banished to the unfinished part of the basement at this point. But this is a room that I can completely destroy and nobody say anything. Oh, God. Oh, man, this thing. It really is amazing, though. Yeah, and it's still warm. Oh, wait a minute, no, it's not. Yeah, it's completely cooled off now, and it's ready to go in and destroy itself. Wow. Oh yeah, and those two bottom holes do line up. Well, supposedly they'll line up right there, but I'm not really that keen on them. I'll probably have to re-drill those too. It really doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, since I did make the plastic a little bit longer, that's probably why it effed up. And I kept the same hole pattern sizes without readjusting for the longer plastic. So, oh well. Ah, boy. This stuff. This stuff really is nuts. But it is what it is, so I will leave it at that. And wish anybody that wants to do this all the luck in the world. Oh, wait.